Get new theme music too. Welcome back to a special edition of First Things First, live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be here all day today, all day tomorrow as we prepare for the 109th running of the Indy 500.
A sweet new bug too in the top left corner.
This is great. It looks like the blanket that Brew was wearing.
That is
slightly chilly here. Joining us right now is Kyle Larson, who is going for the double. So here's what he's going to do. And then I'm going to throw it over to you, Kyle. He's going to run the Indy 500, maybe win, and then hop on a helicopter and then a plane, or just a helicopter?
Helicopter and then a plane, yeah.
Helicopter to a plane.
And then another helicopter.
And then another helicopter to go to Charlotte and run in the Coca-Cola 600. So that's my first question. I kind of threw it away in the intro. If you win, you're not even celebrating. You're going to go right to the Coca-Cola 600. Tell me what the logistics of how this is all going to work.
I mean, yeah, I think if you win, there's still going to be some celebrating going on here with Victory Lane and stuff. But yeah, I mean, so last year I did it as well. But so we ended the race, said goodbye to the team, thank you, all that, hopped in a Suburban, drove across to the driving range over there. That's where they have their helicopter staged. Got in the helicopter to Indianapolis Airport, got in the private jet to Concord, North Carolina, and then getting another helicopter to the Charlotte Motor Speedway and go race. So I would say probably from the time the checkered flag drops till I get on the ground or get to Charlotte Motor Speedway, probably just under 2 hours. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's quick. But yeah, get the IV on the plane, get a meal, get refreshed, all that. Yeah, so there's a lot goes into it.
All right, so I have two questions. One is part of kind of Wilds' initial one, which is you obviously are racing this thing saying, I'm going to win. I can win. If you win, you're really going to go have another race? If you become an Indy 500 champion in the afternoon, you're going to be like, okay, day's only half done, or you're just going to drench yourself in milk and hang out?
Just to be covered in milk in Charlotte. Super awkward.
I absolutely would be leaving to go race. I think it's obviously super cool if you got the chance to win the 500 and do it. But, you know, who else could say they've won both races in the same day?
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I would absolutely leave to go run the Coke 600 as well.
Can I just say one more thing, Brew, before I talk to you? If I was in the Coca-Cola 600 and I've been preparing the entire week and I saw you passing me, you've got to be kidding. This dude just won the Indy 500 and it's like in marathon when you are being beaten by someone has already done in a costume. This guy's, the level of difficulty that you're trying to achieve feels so much greater than everybody else.
And that was kind of my next question. What made you want to do it?
I think what made me want to do it was just that I love racing, and I feel like I'm kind of a throwback racer to the guys from back in the day who did race a lot of different types of cars. You know, I race NASCAR full time, but I race probably another 50 races on dirt tracks and sprint cars and stuff. So that's not normal. So it shows the love that I have for racing. And then I also like to challenge myself and be versatile and try to learn different cars, different series. And so to run 2 races in one day, it just kind of fits what I like to do. And hopefully this year works out. Last year the weather got in the middle of it and wasn't able to run the second half of it.
How much different are the 2 races? Like from preparation to the experience of it and all that?
Yeah, so I'll just start with the cars. You know, surprisingly to me, when I first got in it, you look at an IndyCar and you look at a NASCAR, they look completely different. But the feel that I have between the 2 cars, it's not that crazy different. We have in NASCAR now, in 2022, they designed the next-gen car. So completely different than a stock car used to be. We now have independent suspension. We've got underbody aerodynamics that we're relying on. The sidewalls of the tires are shorter, a lot like an IndyCar. So what I feel in the car is honestly pretty similar. You're going a lot faster in the IndyCar. We'll be 235, 37 probably in the race at the end of the straightaways. NASCAR at Charlotte will be 195 maybe, but the sensation is still the same. So the cars aren't too different. They're both difficult. And then the strategy of the 2 races is fairly similar, I feel like, too. It's hard to pass. You got to execute all the details, good restarts, pit stops, all that sort of stuff. So although I'm not experienced here in IndyCar, I feel like my oval experience in NASCAR should help.
That's interesting. You crashed twice in qualifying. What'd you learn? Is that something that fans of Kyle Larson should be worried about? Or are you like, nah, I'm taking it to the limit and testing the cars.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit odd too. Like I didn't mind crashing because it does help you find the limit. And for me, you're being particularly comfortable, I guess, in experience in the IndyCar. You got to kind of find that edge and learn. What did I feel? What can I do better next time from it? So yeah, we're just fine. That was in practice before qualifying. We were able to get qualified into the race. We'll start, I think, 19th on Sunday. And you can win from any position. So just got to, again, execute all the details and, trust my team that we can do a good job.
So racing, another one of the differences I would assume between Indy and stock car racing is the way you pass and your ability to, bump or not bump in order to use that strategically. Is it hard? Is it muscle memory almost? Like when you're physically in the Indy car, I have to drive a certain way, and when you're physically in the NASCAR cars, you have to drive a certain way? Or are there moments you have found yourself almost inclined to try to execute a move that would work on in one style of racing but not the other?
Yeah, for sure. I think in two, we get like 5 or 6, 7 days of practice. So for me, I feel like I'm pretty aggressive in the practice sessions here because I'm trying to learn and prepare for the race. And there's definitely moves that I've made that maybe in the stock car you could continue to poke your nose in there and touch fenders or something. Where in the Indy car, yeah, you gotta one of the two of you has to bail out of the throttle to not make that contact. But yeah, it's even in stock car racing here at Indy, there's not much bumping going on because the speeds are higher and the track's a little flatter, so it's harder to get close to people. But yeah, you definitely do not want to be touching wheels in IndyCar because you'll see people flipping through the air, which is not fun.
You've got more experience, obviously, in NASCAR. Which one do you feel is more difficult to win in, Indy or NASCAR?
Well, I would be more confident, obviously, winning the Cup race this weekend in NASCAR. But I wouldn't close the door on me having a chance to win here, even with my inexperience in racing in IndyCar. Just because, like I said, I have more oval experience than anybody in the field. Although it might not be in an IndyCar, we race ovals every weekend, and our season's twice as long as the IndyCar season. So, I think that does help, even though it doesn't. I'm not in the physical car. I think the mindset it takes to win on an oval, the race kind of execution it takes, I'm familiar with. So yeah, just got to execute the details and hopefully we can have a shot.
I want to lean on your expertise for something that I haven't been able to figure out. I mean, you're one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers ever, one of the best drivers of your generation. So Palou, who has been dominating Indy this year, he's never won on an oval. It totally would make sense to me if it's man, this guy dominates on ovals, but road courses can't do it. It just in my brain, I'm like, well, if you can drive a road course, you should certainly be able to do this. Why would someone who's clearly as good as Palou and have the success he had on the road courses not have yet been able to master the oval?
Yeah, that's a very, very good and valid question, and one that I don't know if I could fully answer because I do both and whatnot. And I think if I was to try to answer that, I think it's a different feel, obviously, between the two. Having the trust of going 220 miles an hour around a corner versus a heavy braking, that's a way different thing. So getting comfortable with that, which he is, but then too, they don't race many ovals, during their season. So it's not like he has a ton of opportunities to win an oval race.
Sure.
I don't know, they might run 5 or 8 to oval races, probably less than that a year. So it's not a lot of opportunity to learn either. So, but he is extremely good. It's when I'm out there practicing with him, and I got to race him a little bit last year. He's got it all figured out. He can 100% win, but also, when you're going up against a guy like Joseph Newgarden every week on the ovals, he wins all the time. So it's probably hard to beat him on the ovals.
Speaking of Newgarden and just different rivals that you have, how much of your strategy in Indy is you're going to run your race, you have a strategy, you're going to run your race, and how much of it changes with who's in front of you, who's behind you, who's making a move? How much are you thinking about everyone around you that gets you, and how is that good to get you off your game? Or I was no, I got to stay focused and do Al Larson thing.
Yeah, I think for like, so it's tough for me when I come here because I don't race these guys all year long. I don't know their tendencies. I don't know that sort of thing. Where NASCAR, it's like, okay, I got this person in front of me or behind me. Like I know, you know them, well enough to like predict their moves and what they're gonna do. But in this, it's like I gotta kind of watch some film, pay attention in practice, see who's brave, like who's poking their nose in there and staying in it, stuff like that to prepare you for the race. For those moments that might be similar. But then too, I think when it comes down to like the strategy part of it, you have to rely on your team and like what they're, working on behind the scenes. So you also just have to stay focused on what you're doing, just trying to maximize lap time and distance to the leader, stuff like that. But yeah, learning people's tendencies is tough when you're just a one-off guy coming in for this race.
You obviously want to win both races Sunday because you haven't done Indy as much. It's just your second time. Would that mean more to you? If you had to pick one you could win, would it be Indy?
I'm going to win both.
If I could win one of two, it'd be awesome. But honestly, like my just going through my goals, my first goal is to finish all the laps in both races. I think that's a great start. There's only been one other guy, Tony Stewart, to do it. So
have
to
you
join
leaned
that,
on him at all?
A little bit, yeah. We actually had a conversation yesterday because he's part of the Fox broadcast this weekend. And yeah, I mean he's pretty confident in me, so he doesn't offer like a ton of advice, but it's just cool to have him kind of in my corner. But yeah, if I could finish all laps, I think a couple top 10s would be great in each. But ultimately, yeah, if you could win one or both, like do something that even he hasn't done in the double would be amazing.
Awesome.
Good luck to you.
Well,
man.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
busy
Thank
week.
you.
Taking time for us. Very nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm going to be exhausted watching.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.